Alrighty, we are on 11.5 surface area of prisms and cylinders. Today we're going to talk about surface area for 11.5, and then tomorrow we're going to talk about the volume for these 3D shapes. So surface area is going to be the area of all the outside stuff. So it's going to be like this square plus this square plus the area of this square all the way around the shape, and then this plus the area of this pentagon plus the area of this pentagon. So it's all the stuff on the outside of our shape. The volume is going to be the inside, everything contained on the inside, which is going to be cubed. This should all be units squared. What is a prism? A polyhedron with two congruent faces called bases that lie in parallel planes. There's a lot of definitions, so just pause the video and then write these definitions down in your notes. Bases are the top and the bottom of the prism. Congruent parallel faces, that's going to be whatever the shape is. Right? There's always going to be squares involved here, but whatever the shape is, that's what you're going to use for your base. So the main shape in this looks like it's a pentagon, so you're going to use that as your base. That's very important. If you use the square as your base, you will get the problem wrong. So please use the main shape, the regular shape that's used in the prism. In this case, it's a pentagon. The lateral faces, the other faces in the prism that are rectangles or parallelograms, like I just said, these square ideas, right? These squares that are all around the shape. That's what you don't want to use for your base. Those are the lateral faces. All right. Very good. And we'll do some example problems so you know what I'm talking about. But let's go ahead and go to the next slide. If I know how to do it. How do you classify a prism? And we're starting to talk about it. It's by the shape of its bases. Like I just said, the other one was a pentagon, right? That's the base. And so we're going to need to use that for our formula for surface area. Surface area is the sum of the area of each face. So it's this plus this plus this plus the pentagon up here plus the back rectangle plus the pentagon over here. That's all the area on the surface, right? So that's going to be units squared. The lateral area is the sum of the area of the lateral faces. So it's also going to be added on. Lateral face is going to be like this, right? It's almost like the extension of the normal shape. All right, very good. So an example over here would be, this is the base, right? And then, let's see. These are so tiny over on my left. And then this would be the height. Sorry, I can't do the colors. And that would be the lateral faces. Make sure this is the base, right? And then we're going to use height in our formula. Our formula is going to be surface area equals 2 times the base, the area of the base, right? That's what it says right here, times the perimeter of that base. Okay, we just were finding perimeter of different shapes, and then times the height, right? That was over here in our problem. And then why is it all this? Well, first off, that it's P times H is also known as the lateral area. So that kind of our height times our perimeter kind of just multiplies and finds all these areas around to find that like long side of that the prism. Okay, and then it's 2 times the base because there's 2 areas, right? There's 2 of those, so we got to add that onto our surface area. Right, and that they'll add them all up for you. Now you could take the long way and add up all the squares, add up the area of the pentagon, and then multiply it by 2. But this formula makes it so you can find it just a little faster, actually quite a bit faster. All right, so let's do some practice problems. Know what I'm talking about. Find the surface area of the following prisms. Classify the prisms on the line provided. I would say this is a rectangular prism because the base, I'm going to count this as my base, is going to be a rectangle, right? Pretty intuitive in that one. You could have picked another base because they're all rectangles here, but I'm just going to pick the bottom for our sake. So it's going to be the surface area. So we're going to find surface area, right? It's going to be surface area equals 2 times the area of the base. Well, the area of the base looks like it's 5 times 3, right? Because that's for a square, or sorry, a rectangle. 3 times 5 is 15. Plus the perimeter of that base. So over here should be 5, over here should be 3, right? So we have 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 6, so that's 16. That's the perimeter of the base, times the height, 8, right? The height would be 8 now. All right, we're going to punch all that into our calculator. You get 30 over here. You get 128 over here. And now you have 158. This is going to be inches squared. Like I said, we're not finding the volume. We're finding the area of everything on the outside of the rectangle, or sorry, the prism. So that's why it would be inches squared, because it's the area. This next one, okay, now you got to be careful because this is not just any ordinary kind of rectangular prism. This is a triangular prism. Right, so be a little more careful defining your base. This is where people mess up. They don't label the base correctly. Your base is this triangle here. Okay, that's the base. So it's going to be 2 times the area of the base. Okay, so it looks like we're going to use the triangular, the area of a triangle, right? If we're going to do that, we're going to need to find this for our right angle, right? Half of it would be 3.5, right? So I'm going to cut it in half. Oh, sorry, we don't need that. What am I doing? We don't need that because we just, well, actually we do need that because we need to find the height there. Okay, and then this is 7. So we need to use the Pythagorean theorem to go find the height. So we have sorry, I'm going to change the color so you can see it. We have 3.5 squared plus, I'll say h squared equals 7 squared. I knew this was 7 because look at all these tick marks. These are all the same, right? You have 49 equals h squared plus 3.5. Or sorry, that's, I think it's, well, whatever this is squared. But I think when you subtract it, you should have 36 point, took me off the thing. 36.75 equals h squared. Then you take the square root of both things. And I'd type this as your thing punching into the calculator, right? You'll get 6 point something something. And you do need the whole thing there. So make sure you type in this or the answer to that, into your calculator. Okay, great. So now I'm going to finish the formula there. So the height is going to be the square root of 36.75 plus, sorry, I didn't have enough room there, the perimeter. So it looks like now remember, it's a perimeter of the base, which is our triangle. So it's 7 plus 7 plus 7. Looks like that's 21 times the, oh gosh, what was the last part? Oh, the height. Yeah, 5. Great. That's the height. So you're taking this triangle and you're extending it. That's kind of how I'm picturing things. Well, we're going to type that in our calculator, and I get 147.435. We're probably going to be rounding again to the nearest tenth or so. So however that looks, but it's going to be, centimeters squared. Oh, meter squared. My bad. Second look. All right, very good. Cylinder. This one's a little more straightforward, so we'll go hopefully a little faster. Solid with two congruent circular bases that lie in parallel planes. You've seen these before. You know what these look like. The surface area is going to equal 2 times the area of the base. Our bases are always going to be circles, plus the circumference, times the height. So very similar to what we just did. Now, if you break this down, right, the area of the base is going to be a circle. So the area of the base of the circle, we just did that, right? That's going to be 2 pi r squared. That's going to be pi r squared in our kind of formula down here. Same thing with the circumference. We know the circumference is 2 pi r. So, right, this is the bottom formula here is really the same thing, but just breaking down the area of a circle and the circumference of the circle into more parts, so it's easier to punch in. So I would like using this formula maybe a little bit better. Sweet. Great. All right. So here's 2 cylinders. So we said it is surface area equals 2 times the area of a circle, which is pi r, which is 3 in this one squared, plus, and I'm going to use that second formula, which said 2 pi r, which is 3 times the height, which is 5. And that's all you're really doing. Now you're just punching in a calculator. But watch me as I do this next part so you can get the most accurate answer. You have 9 times 2, which is 18 pi, plus 2 times 3, which is 6, times 5, which equals 30. So 30 pi. Add these up, you get 48 pi. Now you type that in the calculator. Notice I didn't just punch everything in the calculator right away. I wanted to get in terms of pi. This is the exact answer. For my real answer, I got, it should be about 16. You get 16.0000 something. You just leave it at 16 for this one. Oops, meters. It's a terrible M, but it's an M. The next one here, just some bigger numbers, but still manageable. Surface area, I'll use a different color for you. Red. Surface area equals, and there's a lot to write, 2 pi, 2 times pi r squared, so 9 squared, plus 2 pi r, which is 9, times 15, which is the height. Great. I got 270 over here, so 270 pi. And on the left, I get 162 pi, which then gets you 432 pi equals your surface area. And then I got 1,357.168 feet squared. Cool. Alrighty. Last two problems here, a little different. They give you the surface area, then you got to go find a component of it. This is kind of similar, just kind of reversing situations like we did in finding the area. So we would find the pathom or find the height or what have you. So just use your formula and then find the missing variable. So you have surface area is 1,206.4 inches squared. Then you use your formula. So it's going to be 2 times pi r squared, 8 squared, plus the perimeter, the circumference, which is 2 pi r. Come on. 2 pi r, which is 8 again, times the height. And so now you're finding for h in this situation. I got, first I'll do the exponent there, 128 pi plus 16 pi h, right? Because I'm just multiplying these numbers out. Equals 1,206.4. Well, now I'm going to subtract, which sounds kind of weird, the 128 pi from both sides, right? Man. Oops, not divide, right? 100 minus 128 pi. Minus 128 pi, right? Because it's not being multiplied, it's being added to this stuff, right? So that's why we're doing that. I got 804.27 equals 16 times pi times h. Now I'm going to divide because it's being multiplied by h, not added to h. That was the difference between this step and this step, right? So divide both sides by 16 pi to get h by itself. I got, I messed up on the other one. This one was the r equals 16.00. Sorry, I was looking at a different part of my page. This is about 16 inches for the other one. Sorry, that shouldn't be that. It should be like 150.796. Fix my error before Jackie caught me. All right. Yes, if I get something wrong here, please tell me, because that's annoying for everybody. And then I can help people that are maybe not doing it right. Come on. Oh my gosh, this is the tiniest little touchscreen ever. I just want a different color. Not red or white. Would be great. Great. All right, here's the last one here. Find the length of the side of a cube. Surface area equals 384. I'd kind of recommend trying this on your own and then comparing answers here, because this is a kind of a fun, I think, kind of a fun one. Just because it shouldn't be that crazy if you know what you're kind of doing with surface area. So pause and see if you can try it on your own. Otherwise, here's how you do it. 384 equals, now I know I'm finding surface area of all the sides. How many sides are there? 6. What's the area of that side? Well, it's going to be S squared, right? And that's it for your equation, right? That's what you're doing. 6 sides of a dice. That's how I kind of came up with that. All right, so I'm going to divide both sides by 6. And I get 64, S squared, right? And now I see the nice number coming out of this. This is 8 equals S. Sweet. Centimeters, sure. And just centimeters because it's just the side, right? Same thing with this one over here. It's just inches because it's just finding the height. I don't know why I wrote our height. Very good. All right, and that's surface area. Tomorrow we'll do volume.